There's a word that pops up in several of this week's biblical passages that also gets tossed around a lot in everyday conversation. That word is bless. Somewhere between the writing of the biblical books and the writing of this midweek moment, some of the spiritual oomph leaked out of the word, kind of like an air mattress that softens up overnight. Think about it. Probably the most frequent use of the word bless is our reflexive response to someone's sneezing. God bless you. Sometimes shortened to bless you, thus cropping God out of the picture entirely. Supposedly the custom goes all the way back to Pope Gregory I during the Roman plague of 590 AD. The connection was made even then between the sneeze and the illness, and the habit of noting the sneeze, and with the hope that God would bless the sneezer and prevent further illness was born. Now we know they should have been wearing masks. But in all honesty, when I say God bless you in response to a sneeze, more or less I'm acting out of reflex and not out of deep wells of boundless compassion and a genuine God's eye view of the person and their situation. It's just words. I'm trying though. Then there's the simple yet fraught, bless your heart. There are too many nuances to those three words to describe. In the best case scenario, they can describe a sincere, if pitying, wish to strengthen and love someone who is down. There are many examples, though, of these three words being so snark-laden that it's hard to hear much sincere desire to bless in them. Bless your heart. You are an absolute moron. Back to Bible times, though, and blessing was a big deal, especially at times of transition or parting. When facing the scary or the unknown, people need to check in with God and take stock of themselves. To embark on something new, it helps to know that you aren't alone. Patriarch Jacob, for all his faults, was on board with that. He finagled his father's blessing intended for the earlier born Esau, and then in chapter 32 he wrestles all night with an unidentified man who is usually thought to be an angel, a messenger of God. Jacob tenaciously insists that he will not let go of the angel man until you bless me, as he says. What might that mean to you and to me here and now? To be blessed and to bless others. I think part of it is recognizing our connection to one another and to God. These months of separation from our co-workers, our groups, our classes, our congregations have been hard in a bunch of different ways. Economically, yes, but also physically and psychologically. Occasionally, it is kind of serene and relaxing not to have to deal with other people face to face. But more of the time, it's really annoying and difficult and sad. We are finding new ways to connect and communicate, and that's important because we need to communicate to strengthen the bonds between us. We need to give and receive blessings, words of hope and love and promise that we can hold on to in whatever we face next. In the New Testament, the root of the word for bless is to speak well, from which we get the word eulogy. And a eulogy shouldn't only be something from the living for the dead. It should be something with which we are blessed for all of our times. And before we dismiss blessing as just pretty words, remember how the gospel writer John captures the incarnation of Christ in chapter 1 of the gospel. And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. Just words? And how? God bless you. And by the grace of God, may we all return the favor and bless God and one another.